to Phoenix Business Exchange East End Edition on this fine Wednesday, February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day, folks, and hope everything's going well, or that you are having great plans either that have happened last night. Apparently, that's Sam and I are on that boat, or tomorrow night, as Matt is. And so we're going to start off with some shared information as to what's going on in the Phoenix world. So if you're going to come to the PBEX site or the Phoenix website, it's pbex.ca. I'm just going to share the website with you here. And here we go. So pbex.ca, anybody's welcome to come on into this meeting if you have a business that you want to make further connections. Member of the week is Josh Lamb. Now, Mr. Lamb is our tech expert, and in fact, this particular segment is Tech Talk. So he's talking about emails and between the Google world and the Microsoft world, what's happening in behind and what they like or don't like to see happen. And you have the Monday morning 8 to 9. Today, you just click on this link. It'll lead you right in here to Zoom. We have the South End group meeting the same time tomorrow on Thursday, so 8 to 9 Eastern Standard Time on all 3 days. Although it says February 6th, the next after hours meeting group is going to be March 5th. So all Phoenix members are welcome to come to that. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, we have referrals, year-to-date referrals at 10,545. So we've, in dollars, that's business collected between members, we've had 56 referrals between members since January, 78 BAMs. A BAM is a business activity meeting, which generally generates some referrals afterwards. So someone gets to be aware of someone else's business. Sometimes it'll become more enlightened as to what's going on. All right, and scrolling down, we have East Trade Winds. That's every Tuesday at 8 to 9. We have Jacqueline, who will help you get right as rain in the body shape by 6:30 p.m. Eastern. And my wife's going through yoga classes elsewhere, and yes, now she's feeling more active. So yoga is a good thing to do. Then we have a mix and mingle at Century 21 on the 20th of February. So that's Wendy Chung's Palace of retail sale.
That's next week.
That's next week. House sales. So click on that. And so just, you're showing up though. That's an in-person event. Then we have Penny Lee. She's helping you move your body around in all good ways too. And she has NIA classes. Click that link and it'll start the process where you can find out what days and where she's at. Tony's got a couple of mini workshops. One's a pendulum. That's February 2nd. Oops, we're a little late on that one. And then we have the Spirit Night Medium Reading Group on the February 21st. QR directory for all Phoenix members. So if you want to find a Phoenix member, this is a good way to cross-connect with them. And it all links back to the e-card. You'll notice there's 1,178 connections that have happened on the e-card. So it's a seamless way for people to connect with you or to your fellow Phoenix members. It provides them a phone number, email, all those wonderful things. Top books to read for success. All right, I'm going to stop the share there. And I'm going to swing over to Tony because Tony's going to have the words of wisdom coming up next.
Thank you, Bernie. I found an article a while back, and it was talking about eagles. We were looking at the different ways eagles is, and as we're starting to read, I was just about to go over it, and then it started to get into something very interesting. Did you know that an eagle, a lifespan is about 80 years? An 80-year-old eagle. And one of the interesting parts about it is that for the first 40 years, because of its way that it hunts and the way that it gathers and everything, its claws start to turn very dull, and so does its beak. After a while, when it gets so dull, it has a hard time eating, has a hard time hunting, and the claws, they don't grab like they used to. You can see some of these videos where an eagle actually goes into the water and picks up a tuna, a small or like a pretty large fish, and it just holds onto it because the claws are very sharp. After a while, it starts to slip, and it can't it can't do the hunting as well as it used to. So when it gets to its 40th year, half its lifespan, it goes through a 150-day process where it flies into the mountains and it just sort of disappears. It goes high up there And what it does is it flies, and it purposely flies into the rocks to try and break off its beak. It does the same thing to its claws, where it actually declaws himself. I can't imagine how painful that would be to be able to do that purposely. And what ends up happening is when the beak falls off, breaks off, and the claws come off, then it waits that time for a claws to regrow itself and the beak to regrow itself, and it turns razor sharp again. So for those 150 days, it doesn't eat a whole lot. Imagine it just goes through this point. But when it comes flying down again, it almost has a second life. And that's what it goes through for the next 40 years. And I always try and use that analogy when we use our business. When things get old, when things get worn out, when you do the same thing over and over again, but now it's not working and you're wondering why. And sometimes we need training. Sometimes we just need to sort of halt and step back and reflect. Is that how come this isn't working? And one of the first things humans do, and I see this all the time, is they blame themselves. Oh, there's something wrong with my marketing. I need to push more. I need to whatever. There's always something going on with a plan that doesn't happen the way that it is planned to, because people look at different things. I mean, I only found out recently from Kat that the social media world has vastly changed in 20 years when it came out. And now there are just simple things like links and that you can't have going out of the post or whatever and those kind of things. But when you're aware of it, okay, now how do we use this new information to make us sharper, to make us more aware so that we can target our clients the way we need to? Because that's always been the goal. That hasn't changed. It's just that the way we do it is going to be different. And this is where we do. So when this particular story came up, I want you to realize that don't be afraid to go to back to school, get some training. There might be some things that you might need to hone in on to really see. Like for a while back, I never really thought it was a big deal to do any video editing training. And there was just something pushing me. Spirit about 3 or 4 years ago said you need to do editing, and I go, why? It doesn't make any difference. So anyway, I kept going with it, and now it's invaluable. A lot of the things that I'm doing, I want it to look clean. I want it to look professional. I want it to be able to edit it so that it has an area where it'll be noticed. People are used to good quality videos or good quality productions, and so in my business, that's what I try and do: give that quality out so that it'll reflect back on my business. So stay sharp, people, and stay it where if you need to just step back and take some time to be able to upgrade yourself, that's the thing to do. Don't be afraid of doing that. Back to you, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. And so I'm just going to post into the chat and the LinkedIn Live so you can put your contact details in there. If you have a special promotion, you have something special going on, you want us to make a special point. What a perfect waste! What a perfect way to share that out to the universe at large, to our business community. And we're going to start off doing, hey, who are you? What do you do? And any BAMs or referrals, so business activity meetings you've had in the last week. And we'll just go around robin, and we'll end with our presenter, who's Tanya today. And Susan Ebbs, you're up. You want me to come back to you? Okay, sorry. And Sam, you're up. We know your voice is working.
Thanks, Bernie. Good morning, everyone. And happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Hope you have a great day. Sam's Tourist, ConnectedCars.ca. There's my contact information in the chat. I do, electronics, such as dash cameras in cars, stereo speakers, all kinds of things like that. Also do oil change and brake jobs. And, today I want to talk about a thing that's been on the news, and that is car thefts. And I'm going to pick on, Susan, I warned you, of these three Canadian cities, put them in order least to most stolen vehicles. Let's see, Ottawa, Toronto, and Montreal. Least to most stolen vehicles.
Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa.
as far as, okay, well, you got it completely backwards.
Oh, no way.
Believe it or not, Toronto has the least of them last year in 2023. Then Ottawa, believe it or not, we were second highest. Montreal with almost 10,000 stolen vehicles in 2023. If you're driving your vehicle to Montreal, bring somebody to guard it, okay? I don't recommend it. Hey, got to remember, keep a vehicle safe in your garage. Don't be leaving it outside with the motor running. Things going on. Let's see, BAMS wise. Well, Susan was here on Monday, finished off her headlights, put a new connector on her vehicle. Tanya dropped off her vehicle yesterday. I'm going to put a new wheel bearing on her vehicle in the front end. And a lady by the name of Christine was watching us on Facebook and actually contacted me on the weekend, asked about welding. And I told her I don't do welding, but referred her to a couple of places that I know that do good work. That's it for me, Sam Sturz, ConnectedCars.ca. Today's mobile electronics, about the cost of the vehicle, and lots more.
Sam, thank you so much. Penny Lee, over to you.
Good morning, Penny Lee, the dancing motivator, co-founder of the Graduate Thrivers. I wanted to point out that today we are at 7 weeks into 2024, and many people set New Year's resolutions and goals at the beginning of the year and struggle with willpower to get them through the first few weeks of the year. And now is about the point where people give up. And so I would like to remind you that I am a mindset mentor. I help people move through change in a positive way using the 4 C's for success strategy and the positive attitude zone philosophy. I have set up a Vision to Victory upgrade for Saturday, February 24th. And I'm only charging $24 because it's 2024. And I would love to give you an opportunity if you've done a vision board recently, or you have one that maybe you did last year that you'd like to upgrade. I would love to give you the opportunity to get clarity on that and create some affirmations around that to upgrade your vibration so that you can attract and manifest more easily. So I will pass that info on to Bernie so he can add it to the calendar. And remember, at Graduate is where success takes flight.
Penny, thank you. And that's another important point. If you have special events, one-off events that are coming up, let me know or let Tony know. We'll post it in the calendar and highlight the event itself. And Susan Ebbs, we're going to try you again. You're on mute.
Okay, technical difficulties this morning. Good morning, everyone. I'm Susan Ebbs, and I'm with melaleuca.com. I can help you make sure that your home is free of toxins. Toxins can cause all sorts of problems, breathing problems. We're finding a lot more children with allergies and conditions like autism and ADHD, etc. So I'd like to showcase a couple of products today. We've got our rinse aid that you can put in your dishwasher. You know how your dishes come out spotted? Well, rinse aid will help get rid of that. And then you've got to wash your dishes with Diamond Bright. This will give you 25 loads. Now, the beauty of Melaleuca products are they don't have chemicals. For instance, they don't have chlorine or phosphate in the dishwasher detergent. Do you know that when you do your dishes with store brand cleaning products, the chemicals are going out into the air as the dishwasher is running, and then they're going on your plate and you're ingesting those. So it's a vicious cycle. So with Melaleuca products, you don't have to worry about that. Things will look clean and sparkly, and you won't have the chemicals going out into your home and environment. Susan Ebbs with melaleuca.com.
Susan, thank you so much. And we're going to swing over to Wendy Chung.
Good morning, everyone. Wendy Chung, real estate broker with Century 21 Synergy. Tony, you just reminded me that, you have to continue to mastermind with colleagues and reconnect with people in your own field. There's enough business to go around for everyone. We are all working together to serve our clients. I got a very nice email the other night. A couple I met 3 years ago, I showed a property that my team listed. They didn't end up buying the property, but they did hold on to my contact information and invited me over yesterday to meet with them and talk about their real estate needs. So never give up on someone that's connected with you from many years ago. They will always come back if you make a good impression and you show value in whatever you do. I recently gave another referral to Jacqueline to do a pre-approval for one of my clients. And I didn't have a BAM with anyone from the Phoenix group, but from a former Phoenix member, Trish Harris. I actually met with her the other day and we reconnected, and it was just really, really nice. So it's wonderful that although you're part of the Phoenix network currently, and we are all together here, there are also past members that you may want to stay in contact with. So that's all I have for today. Thank you very much.
Wendy, thank you so much. Matthew Ledard, over to you, sir.
Good morning, everybody. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services here. Well, as it says in the name, we are a full service HVAC company here. We do take care of furnaces, heat pumps, air conditioners. It is coming to that time of the year. You don't want to really talk about it on a cold day like this, but spring is coming. With the exception of today and the next couple days, it's been getting warmer out and a sign of things to come. And with that being said, you don't want to miss out on getting your air conditioner installed before it's too late and you end up having to wait till July or August because companies get booked up too much. So if you know anybody or you are interested in getting a new air conditioner or a heat pump added into your home for this upcoming season, feel free to reach out to me. Matthew Ledard, Arizona HVAC Services, quality you can trust, guaranteed. Thank you so much.
Any BAMs or referrals?
Oh, yeah. BAMs, a couple weeks ago, I met up with Lana Edwards, I think it was, real estate agent from one of the other groups, and had a BAM with her. And yeah, things can look good over there. So possibility of getting some work through each other there. And yeah, other than that, not too much going on the go.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Jacqueline, over to you.
Good morning, everyone. And did you, because it's Valentine's Day, take that long, deep breath and lift your shoulders, take them back and drop them down, and appreciate we are all about being the real McCoy. And I just want to give you a synopsis of really what the real McCoy is. It's Elijah McCoy, who was born in Canada. No, sorry, I take it back. He was born in Kentucky, and his parents on the Underground Railroad brought him to Canada. And what did he do? Brilliant man. So he invented 57 patents, 57. One was all about moving the trains more effectively with an oil, oh my gosh, an oil something or other. But what he also did was he made a gadget to make an ironing gadget much easier to use. This gentleman, 57 of these, was just him, and he was great. And when we use the real McCoy, are you the real McCoy? Elijah was the real McCoy. And when you're looking for mortgage strategies for your mortgage money, you, me, and Elijah, when you're looking for strategies for your mortgage money, you got to contact your mortgage honey. And happy moments. I thank you, Wendy, for that client referral. We've been having great conversation. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to next week having more BAMs. Oh, let me say, Kat, thank you very much. I appreciate all that you've done and the connections that I've made so far. And Bernie, your event is a riot, and I appreciate it. Thank you. On Tuesdays, that is.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I try to keep all my rights in one spot. Susan McGarry, over to you, ma'am.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Susan McGarry, and I'm with a company called Pure Trim. We carry a line of health and wellness supplements from the Mediterranean and only from the Mediterranean. So if there's anyone that you know and care about that's looking to overcome their joint pain, maybe they have digestive issues, want to do a liver cleanse, maybe they've seen their doctor and they're saying, hey, we need to address this. Energy is another area that we focus on, and skincare, and of course, hair care. Your girl used to wear false lashes every single day. I was married to them because I kept ripping them out every night when you put a new set in. And thankfully, to lash cells, they've all grown back in and even longer and thicker. So I'm very grateful to have kicked those to the curb because it's probably saved me about $60 a month. So that being said, if there's anyone you know and care about that's looking to feel better, look better, and have way more energy, please reach out to me. Yeah, I had a great meeting with Sam. Thank you so much, Sam. It was nice to be able to pull out of his driveway and have the transmission work and the lights work. So thank you so much for that, Sam. You're just a great, wonderful member with the team. And also, Sam, thank you. You gave me 2 t-shirts, so I'm looking forward to it. And they look good. Like they're nice quality t-shirts. So thank you so much for those, Sam. Take care, everyone.
Susan, thank you so much. Deirdre, over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Love Day. I hope everybody has plans, whether it's with a loved one or self-care, but to do something to lift your spirits today. I myself am actually going to go see Tony. I didn't realize when we booked it that it was today. So Tony, you get to spend the afternoon with me. I am the interior designer of the group, Deirdre Dorson of Eastbro Designs, and I am a boutique interior design studio where I assist clients, homeowners, as well as contractors and developers get ready for either a big build or renovation. So everything from selecting all the finishes and materials and fixtures for a space to designing a full custom home from the ground up and everything in between. And so my goal is to give clients confidence, knowing that we have exercised all the design possibilities, shown them the art of the possible, shown them things that they didn't know that they wanted, but now they can't live without, and incorporate that into their new spaces so that it's really a reflection of them and their lifestyle moving forward. And with that confidence, they're able to move into construction or a build, which tends to be a more stressful situation, but hopefully the design process is not part of that stress. So that is my job, to create a full design package that the contractor or builder can just take it and run with it. So Deirdre Dorson of Eastbro Designs, I look forward to working with you soon.
Thanks,
Oh,
Deirdre.
and BAM, I did have a, sorry, BAM with
Right.
Susan Ebbs.
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Norm.
Morning, Norm Boyer from Boyer Boys Home Maintenance Repair. We're planning a special event, so we would like you all to come. We're calling it Spring, is our event that we're having. So, spring means that the snow's going to go away and you're going to see all the damage that winter has done. Right, so that's going to mean that we're going to be looking at the exterior stuff. Right now, we're still looking at interior stuff to fix. So Boyer Boys generally fixes things. We don't build your deck, we fix your deck. We fix your doors. We fix your windows. So we fix your home is our tagline. So that's what we hunt for. We don't build additions. We just go in and fix what the other trades or the do-it-yourself or your husband has mucked up on something. We'll go in and fix it. So if you know somebody that has a honey-do list, it's a list of a whole bunch of things that need to be done, we'll go in and fix all that stuff that needs to be done. So if you don't have the time, you don't know how to do it, you don't want to do it, we'll do it. Boyer Boys Home Maintenance Repair, we fix your home. So last week, I asked the 3 realtors in our group if they would do me a favor. I asked them to find me a new neighbor. Our neighbor has their house for sale right across the street. We're sorry to lose that neighbor, but they have to move because of family situations. their parents are getting older, so they have to move closer to their parents, but it's a fantastic house. So I told Wendy about it, and told Lana about it, and told Eric about it. So I want it to be fussy because I want good neighbors. I just don't want any old neighbors. So that's what I did for the group last week. It was a selfish move because I just really wanted a new neighbor.
Norm, thank you so much. And we're going to swing over to Kat. Are you up for this, or Kat's been experiencing a bit of a skip? Okay, not a problem. Sorry, Kat. Thanks. Tony, over to you, sir.
Okay, your sound's not working, Kat?
No, it's just no more. Okay. Just she. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, getting a good neighbor. What a great thing to have, having a handyman right across the street. Especially in a rural area. So it would be very good to live next to Norm. Hi, everybody. Tony Jennis from Higher Self. I'm the spirit guy of the group, medium and clairvoyant. I'm just gearing up for a few classes that are coming up. One is a certified practitioner class. I'm a master teacher. I teach other practitioners how to do what I do. And I've got a workshop coming up next week on how to use pendulums. It's a second part of one we did. And to give this commercial value, I actually tested it on Monday. I had a call from a client, and they were asking me, should I do this one project or not? And my pendulum said, nope, don't do it. And it ended up saving him $6,000. And I can teach you how to do that. So when we can get yes, no answers, that's huge. Whether I should get into this deal or whether I should propose or whether, there's a lot of things that that destiny knows that if we just keep thinking about it, we always are uncertain whether or not we made the right choice. But there's an energy around you that knows it. It's very good. On Friday, on Tuning In with Tony, we're going to be discussing the concept of keep moving, not keeping moving forward, but just to keep moving. And in that class, we're going to have that as part of a membership where you can get that every week. It's almost an hour-long meditation and so on. And we're going to show you why you should keep moving in areas where things are slowing down, why it's so important. So hopefully you'll either come on that one or you'll see what that's all about. So Tony, we are moving your spirits forward. Thanks, Bernie.
Tony, thank you so much. So, Bernie Franz.
Oh, by the way, I did Lana. I did a BAM with her. Ongoing business with Eric Senego. Ongoing business with Josh. He's still doing some stuff with our website. Kat, thanks a lot, Kat. Ongoing work with you. And Cremina, I went to her shop and got Valentine's flowers for my mom, my daughter-in-law, and my wife, of course. And it was the first time I wasn't aware of this, that my daughter-in-law has never received flowers ever. And so it's she's, even my dad never gave me flowers, and and so it was really emotional. So hey, it was a really good impact there. So and the flowers were beautiful. So Carmina, if you're watching, beautiful flowers. Thank you very much.
Wow, Tony, you just staged up your son. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
FYI, just you're you're all part of that mix. So my name is Bernie Franz with Creative Insight. What do? I connect businesses, and just I want to highlight something that Kat put in the chat. There's her contact details. We know that she does social media. She'll help you do the social media. She also has the special offer in there as come in as a guest to an event that's coming up. It's an AI Unleashed Cutting Edge Tech for Rapid Scale with Kane Minkus, February 29th. So 2 p.m. British Standard Time or 9 a.m. Eastern. So this saves you 50 pounds. Translation, that's about $100. So that's kind of a good place to go. So that's one of the things that Creative does. We find those little magic pearls and we share them. In this case, Kat sharing them, but I'm highlighting it. You see my contact details in there, and to highlight it a bit more, Knack for Business podcast. That is what that's about. Is there are details that people have, and I share them with you, and that's solely about it. It's about the business space. It doesn't matter whether you're a chiropractor or you are a coach or you are a mechanic or you're a realtor. Everybody has pearls to share. There's also a Property Wizard podcast, which is about real estate investment to help you understand what's going on. And here's another example of things that I share. So you might know this already. Carl Rich's got a podcast boot camp happening tomorrow. It's about marketing and monetization. That is the information. So again, I've been promoting that to other people, and that's again what Creative Insight's about. And every Monday, the World Referral also has another session. You're welcome to come. It's free to come. It's Monday afternoon, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They share stories. Now, all that said, I'm going to swing over to Tanya because Tanya is now in the limelight, and over to you, Tanya.
Well, thank you, Bernie. So my name is Tanya Hewitt, and I have a company called Beyond Safety Compliance. But today I'm not going to talk anything about that. I am going to share a little bit about what we all need to be aware of. And let me just make sure that I can play this.
You're
There we
not
go.
in present. Okay, good to
All
go.
right. So just to start, I talked with Steve Brennickmeyer yesterday, and my car is at Sam's right now. Okay. I have been talking to people who, I'm involved in a lot of networks, and every time I talk about what happened to me at the end of January, I always get somebody coming up to me, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're talking about this. This happened to me a little while ago. Or my husband, this happened to him. So I haven't been to a network yet where somebody hasn't said this. So this is super pervasive, and we need to start talking about it more freely, which is what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of background, talk about social engineering and how it looked like to me, give you a little bit, some snippets of my story, and then some takeaways from which to be aware, of which to be aware. If you have a digital account, and you all do, I saw some Instagram logins there, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. If you have a digital presence, you exist on the dark web. That's just a fact. And there's some research that was released recently talking about the extent of what is out there on the dark web. So credentials are being bought and sold by criminals at an alarming rate. And I was going to read some of this to you, but in the interest of time, all I'll say is that criminals can rent an identity for less than $10, according to this report. So Americans, British, and Canadians are being specifically targeted. Why? We speak English by and large, and comparatively speaking, we are a rich country, and we will pay. And so we are being targeted, and your data is in there. If you have any online account, it's in there. So it's not if this is going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. You've all received all sorts of scam texts and emails and things like this. So that's part of it, but they're upping their game, and I'm going to show you how. In the older tactics were things like brute force email password guessing. I think we've all known about this. So now we have companies like LastPass, and Google is in this game too. So that one I think is more or less known. Threatening blackmail through emails. I'm sure a lot of you or somebody you know has received these types of emails, which either you respond to or you don't, because some of the details might be wrong, some of the spelling might be bad, all that kind of thing. Ransomware, which takes down whole companies, whole hospitals, whole universities, whole governments. This is still happening, but it's older now. And contributing to DNS attacks, I think a lot of you might have been around when the I love you scams. It was a worm virus that if you clicked on the email, it then would send that email to all of your contacts. Then all your contacts would click on that alluring link. And that happened in 24 years ago. So that happened in 2000, the year 2000. Newer tactics, though, are impersonating banks. There was an Ottawa couple who on CTV talked about losing $17,000 thinking that they were interacting with TD Bank. Constructing compelling websites. So this is something I want you to really understand. The Perfect Scam podcast featured a woman who, instead of going to Amazon's website, she was in a hurry, she Googled Amazon's phone number. She, through a long process, lost $70,000 as a result of that very innocent mistake. There are incredibly compelling websites out there that are fake, that the criminals are behind, that you need to be aware of. AI voice to impersonate a loved one. So lots of people have their voices online, on videos, on lives and so forth. And AI can now use just samples of that voice and program that voice to say absolutely anything. So it won't be, we have your grandson here. If you ever want to see him again, blah, blah, blah. It'll be your grandson's voice crying desperately to you for help. That can be engineered right now. And social engineering, psychologically manipulative tactics that render the victim confused and helpless and thus compliant. And that's what happened to me. So this is what it looked like to me. So there are psychologists who work on these criminal organizations, and they use the very, very professionally done. So authority. In my case, it was the Attorney General's office and the OPP. Again, I was told what website to look up in order to verify identity. It looked pretty real to me, given the fear and the panic that I was in doing such a search. Isolating. You can't talk to anyone about this. Why? Because this is an ongoing police investigation. Sound familiar? I think Bernie had said this a couple of weeks ago. And this fraud is happening around you. You don't know who is doing this. Creating fear. This fraud is getting worse by the second. You need to act now to verify your identity. So that was my scam, verify your identity. Deflection. I accuse these people many times of being a scam. They ask me, if this were a scam, wouldn't I want to log into your account directly? Wouldn't I ask you to send gift cards? Would I let you use your own phone to do these transactions? Would I let you be in control of the whole process? And that particular line was something I missed, because if I were in control, I would have hung up the phone. That's the big takeaway. Hang up the phone. Anyway, faking empathy. They were incredible at this. We know that this is hard for you. Oh my goodness, this is so difficult. You are doing such a good job. We know that you're innocent, but it's all of these fraudsters out there that are using your name that are making this terrible for you, but we're helping you. We are on your side. All you have to do is trust the process. And, we know it's not you, and you're doing such a good job. And wearing you down. I was constantly on the phone reminding me of transactions that were happening live. Every once in a while, they would say, oh my goodness, there's another transaction. That was $5,000 from TD Bank to Montreal. Did you authorize that? And I said, no, I didn't. Oh my goodness, there's another one. That's from National Bank, $17,000. Okay, this is urgent. We got to get onto this right now. And all day it was this. And they were reminding me that they were on my side and helping me. So what I thought was happening, I thought I was verifying my identity. But what actually happened, I was manipulated into buying $10,800 in Bitcoin for organized crime. So on January 24th, I received a phone call from the Amazon fraud department telling me that there were 5 accounts set up in my name, specific transactions, a MacBook being sent to a specific address in Manitoba. asking me, did I authorize that? I said, no. They said, do you bank at any of these institutions? I said, they listed a bunch of them. I said, yes. They said, do you have any reason to suspect that your identity could be stolen? And I said, you know what? I received a letter from Fidelity Investments and from NGM Resorts a little while ago telling me that their systems were breached. And he said, you know what? I think this could be more serious. I'm going to pass you over to the Attorney General. The Attorney General then phoned me. A whole bunch of bank accounts in my name, a whole bunch of transactions going on, a whole bunch of stuff happening. I needed to get to the bank immediately in order to start verifying my identity. That was the letter that was sent to me. Obviously it's a fraud in the cold light of day, but I didn't see it in the cold light of day. I was frightened out of my wits. So some specifics, they were interested if I had a car so that I could be driving around all day, not having the time to think. They were interested in the charge on my phone because I was on the phone all day. So like they needed to know that I had a charged phone. I was given step-by-step instructions all day, how to bypass Bitcoin and put money into a secure locker on the machines that were set up in places around Ontario because I wasn't in Toronto. If I were in Toronto, I could just show up at the courthouse. But because I live outside of Toronto, they have used these Bitcoin machines in a really clever way to be able to associate my picture with the serial numbers on the bills that I was putting into the machines. I won't go through this, but all of this was from a talk that I attended a little while ago, talking about persuasion. I have linked every single one of these to things that these scammers did to me in order to make sure that I did what they wanted to do. Social proof. This is happening to so many Canadians. You have no idea how pervasive identity fraud is. And they just told me to trust the process. Look, you got to make sure that you understand what is going on with you. Like, we're here to help you, but you have to work with us. This kind of stuff. These were some pictures. He read to me what this sign said. He read to me exactly what this sign said. And he said, we're provincial, we're not federal. This has nothing to do with the federal authorities. This has nothing to do with paying your taxes through Bitcoin. Like, that's what that sign is for. This is a provincial thing. We have hijacked these machines. If you do it the way that we tell you, you will bypass buying Bitcoin and you will go straight into your secure locker. All the money will be returned to you once your identity is verified. There were some Canadianisms there, things like, go treat yourself. My goodness, this has been terrible. They use the Desjardins internal fraud information. You can't trust tellers. Remember what happened at Desjardins? Don't trust anybody at a bank. They talked about that the government would not pay for larger expenses. Oh, no. Don't take an Uber out to Orleans. The Ontario government would never reimburse that. Things like this. They told me the call was being recorded. We're all used to calls being recorded. They exploited the provincial federal divide, the poor relationship with our phone providers. Keep your receipts. Keep your receipts, because the RCMP officer who's coming to your house at the end of all of this will have the whole story. And that's where you will be reimbursed these petty expenses, plus will reimburse all the monies that you've been using in order to verify your identity. So what can you do? If you're being instructed on exactly what to do, hang up. They're going to call back. The last guy, when I finally realized it was a scam, and the teller actually hung up the phone on my behalf, because anyway, that's a whole other thing. They phoned back 9 times. So you can't answer when they phone back. Have a safe word in your family so that when that fake AI comes to you, you will ask if that, okay, so I didn't hear the word, it's a fake. Register your name for fraud alerts for Equifax and TransUnion. I didn't know this. I didn't know how to protect against identity theft. That seems to be the only way in Canada. Using these, Equifax and TransUnion, and registering your name for fraud alerts. Right now it's on there for 6 years, and I don't understand why that's not the standard, but whatever. Bitcoin machines in corner stores are only for organized crime. I learned that on a podcast. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that. Those machines are not used for people in the cryptocurrency world. They are used for extortionists, just like the way that I was scammed. So I now know that I'm a sucker. So my name is in the dark web as somebody who has fallen prey to this kind of scam. I will be hit again. So I need to be as aware of all of the types of scams that are out there. So those are some of the resources that I'm using. And if successfully scammed, I am waiting for Ottawa Victim Services to contact me, although they're very busy. I've been told I take a number and wait, and I'm still waiting. So I have taken my my healing in my own, Tony helped in my own hands. So if you have been scammed, seek out your own support, because that's all you're going to get. And those are some excellent resources. So I hope that helped a little bit. And I hope you understand just how effective these psychological scams are.
Does anybody have questions for Tanya? Go ahead, Sam.
Thank you very much for sharing your story there, Tanya. You said about registering with fraud alerts with Equifax, you said?
Yes, Equifax and TransUnion. Phone them, give your talk to them about seeing this presentation, that you understand that the only way to prevent, if I had done that and they had told me there are all of these accounts set up in my name, I would have known that it was a scam, because you can't set up accounts in my name and you know, put hundreds of thousands of dollars passing through them without Equifax and TransUnion knowing. So so the way that this works is that if somebody were to set up an account in my name, Equifax and TransUnion are now, or if Jacqueline were to set up a mortgage in my name, she doesn't have access to my credit score or anything until Equifax or TransUnion gets in contact with me and says, there's somebody named Jacqueline Richards who wants to set up a mortgage in your name. Do you authorize this? And that's how that works. It's using these credit bureaus a little backwards from the way that they were designed to work. But hey, the onslaught on how the criminals are targeting Canadians is extreme and severe. We'll use any help we can get.
So you have to register for this,
Yes,
Tanya?
yes, you must phone or email or whatever. Equifax. In fact, TransUnion, I suspect, was on the scammers' websites as they were reading to me. I recognize the wording. You know, you have no idea how pervasive identity fraud is in Canada. And I told TransUnion, you know what? It looks as though the scammers are really on to you, using your words in their scams. So.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Norm.
My granddaughter got scammed. They told her to deposit some checks, one for $600, one for $2,000 from Sobeys. But she's young and she did what they said and deposited $2,600 in her account. Then they said they were going to tell her, now you got to transfer. Oh, we paid you too much, so you got to reimburse us some. But fortunately, she was a TD Bank. TD Bank froze her account. Not before she spent some of the money at Amazon. She, I got this money in my account. So she ended up having to pay $80 for an overdraft because she thought, oh, I got all this money, so I'm going to go to Amazon. But fortunately, she brought it to me, and I said, oh, hold on now. You know, and I called the bank, and they said, yeah, we saw it, and we it's not a normal transaction for her, so we froze it. So they're pretty, the banks are also pretty sharp, so, but.
Well, you know what? It depends on what's going on. In my case, because I went to different tellers, I was told to go to different tellers in order to increase my case for identity verification. I was told to go to different branches in order to increase the weight of evidence for identity verification. The more people you see, the more branches that you go to, this is helping your case. We will be able to go to the judge with a very strong case with what you're giving us, that you're doing a fantastic job. And I was the one who was responsible for going to the teller with my phone on the teller saw it. The phone was there live on a phone call. The scammers wanted to listen to what I was saying to the teller so they can refine what they tell people to say. So they are listening the whole time. And I have the unfortunate realization that I was the one who volunteered to them that Fidelity Investments sent a lot of letters to Canadians. They didn't know that. They were learning. They were taking notes. So now their particular scam is now going to be informed by, did you get a letter from Fidelity Investments? Well, then your name is almost certainly then, so that's, I have to live with that, but I didn't know at the time. Honestly, when I listened to a podcast, there was a woman who lost $10,000 a lot more quickly than I did because it was a bank impersonation. She said that she was at the time, she was quite appreciative to the criminals because they were helping her, save her money. And honestly, like these people were, I thought they were helping me. They were genuinely telling me that all of this crap was happening, and they were helping me, and we're not going to abandon you. They didn't just give me information, then hang up the phone, take a number, and the way that the banks are now treating me, the way the police is now treating me, the way the victim services is now treating me. So the genuine services are, not as, I don't know, compassionate to the people as the criminals are.
I suspect the criminals want to be compassionate because they got you on the hook.
That's right.
The other
they know it works, especially for Canadians. It works.
The other services, though, are overwhelmed. So we both worked inside a hospital, and you can see what happens when the system gets overwhelmed, right? It's yes, we care, but we're death by 1,000 cuts impact. Are there any other questions?
I noticed there's sort of a pattern. There's a cut. Well, the first pattern and that Tanya's brought up is very relevant. And one is there's always something in a hurry. You got to do something right away. It's right now. So that's the first red flag. The second one is don't tell anybody. As you're going through it, don't tell your family members because, somebody's going to catch wind of it. What are you doing? Like that doesn't make any sense. They don't want you to talk to anybody. So yeah, keep it all to yourself. So Tanya, that was a very good eye opener, and the third is that they want to help you. That's because you're right. If something did actually happen that way, they said, "Did you make this? It's okay. We got it. You don't have to do anything." Because we are so digital, somebody in Manitoba could just switch off your account and move it if it is legitimate to be running from bank to all of that. And so that's another red flag. But it is interesting that it has nothing to do with a person's intelligence or anything. It's just that they catch you on an emotional level, and that's way different, So it could happen to anybody, but it's just those are some of the signs. If something's in a hurry, don't tell anybody. That's already okay. I need to talk to somebody. So yeah. Anyway,
the scam of them wanting to get into your computer, right? So they call and say, "You're having problem with your Windows," and I like to keep them on the line as much as I can because they're not scamming an old lady after that. So they have problems with their Windows. No, I don't. I'm in the window business, and so they're trying to, no, your Windows, and I keep them on as long as I can. And my closing line is, I have a Mac. No, after I can really upset them. I'm a good salesman. My thing is to upset these scammers. And I had the ones where the blackmail emails, right? I emailed them back and I said, I don't have to worry about you. I have a friend in the mafia and he said he's going to take care of you. And, and then I said another one. I said, I have a friend who's special forces and he said he's going to take care of you. and he's blonde, blue-eyed, and he likes, his favorite weapon's a knife. So if you see somebody blonde, blue-eyed, run. And I know I'm talking to somebody where there's not many blonde, blue-eyed people around, so I make them paranoid. I can make the scammer paranoid. Like, not as
Maybe I'll leave you with a
sophisticated
couple
as
of things.
Tanya, right? But that's a really sophisticated thing that they've done for Tanya.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll leave you with a
Go ahead,
couple of things.
go ahead, Tanya. Go ahead, Tanya.
So, one thought I've had to really struggle with is when I was believing that they were who they said they were, and that what they said was happening, and they asked me, basically they put a sandbox around what they were going to do, and I know, because this is something I have to struggle with. I know how frightened I was in that moment. I am grateful that all they did was hit my business account, because had they hit, you know, the assets and everything, like we could have lost everything easily, because I was very, very frightened, and I have to struggle with that in order to know when they hit me again, how to respond, because I literally was frightened, and I forgot the other thing to say, but it's just this is not this was all psychological on me. So the banks are quite happy that this is happening, because it takes not their responsibility. You know, I was the one who went to the counter. I was the one who withdrew, you know, lots of money off of my credit card. I've never done that before. I was instructed on how to do it. And so the banks are quite happy that this kind of fraud is happening, because they don't have any security breaches at all on their end. It's all psychological on Canadians, Americans, and British.
So nothing new under the sun except the technology. So these scams have been going on since the 1900s. We're all culpable. We're all not culpable. We're all vulnerable. And so, Tanya, thank you for sharing. And by the way, the advice about not sharing the information was in a public forum if there was an active police investigation. Because if you had the person in hand and there were an in-person situation and there's an active, true investigation where you're actually talking to a live investigator in person or at the police station, because they don't phone you up and they don't get you to put money. They don't ever put you at risk. They'll put state funds at risk to do a catch. That said, the emotions are running high. So the key part is, if someone's hitting on you in this type of manner, stop. Right? If you're wound up, stop. Do talk to somebody, family member or a peer, and going, does this sound right? That's the catch. Stop. And when you're getting those text messages that say, hi, we're from CRA. Yeah, CRA doesn't do that. And if they do that, then, you go on the website and you, in a calm manner, and double back, or you talk to an expert. And the Equifax and the other one, yeah, you can sign up for those credit alerts, right? Have you been tagged? Has there been any transaction changes on your account? And they'll give you an alert on that once a month. So, a couple of quick things I have to wrap up because we're at 9:01. There are no sessions next week because it is Family Day. So if you show up, it's going to be lonely, or there might be a few of you lonely together. But just keep that in mind. Let's not do that. Right. So next week's an off week. Quote for the day: if someone is out in the desert walking around, they're going to be thirsty. You just have to ask them what they want to drink. Arthur Blank, the quotation source.
Okay.
Thanks, Tanya.
Great
Thanks a lot,
session.
Tanya.
Thank you, Tanya.